Hello, everybody, and welcome to My Brother, Me, and Advice Show for the Modern Era. I'm your oldest brother, Justin McElroy.
I'm your middlest brother, Travis McElroy.
And I'm the sweet baby brother, Griffin Andrew McElroy.
Let me just get ahead of it. I watched the first episode.
He finished the first episode of
Yes.
Man vs. Bee.
It was harrowing, is the word I would use.
I was made certain assurances that we would not need to talk about Man vs.
No, but
Bee
I also don't want people... Now what I've run into, because of the blast on which I was put, that in my life, social media, in streaming, in everything I've done, if I mentioned...
In your bedroom,
in my bedroom, my wife, my children, my dog,
your
all
confessional...
of them. When I'm talking to my priest, my spiritual guidance, my yogi, when I'm talking to my yogi bear, when I'm talking to them...
You gotta watch the movie, boo-boo!
And I say, I did this today. They're like, you should have been watching Man vs. Bee. And I'm like, okay, I did it now. Did it now. Never again.
So here's the issue, Travis. You're getting Man vs. Bee 1.1. There were a lot of complaints registered toward Netflix with some of the gratuitous male and bee nudity.
Yeah, I did notice
in the original cut. And so, as they are wont to do, what with this streaming era and the death of art, they went in and just took all that stuff out. So you know how the episodes are like 20 minutes long?
Yeah.
They used to be like 35, 40, and you were getting a good 15 to 20 minutes of man and bee nudity.
Well,
Sometimes
Griffin, I actually anticipated that because I know of Netflix's rampant censorship. And so I actually watched it in 90-second chunks on Dailymotion. I found a playlist. Yeah, I found a playlist and I just watched it that way. Now, there were a couple chunks missing, which frankly made it incoherent. But other than that...
Obviously, I dipped into Dailymotion for those clips for my own purposes.
Yeah.
And my net nanny was like, we'll let this one go. They're like, it's Mr. Bean. Like, there's no erotic value. It auto blurred out the bee's huge ding-along. Which is understandable, but they were like, it's Mr. Bean's dick and his balls and butthole.
It's educational.
And it serves an educational purpose at that point.
Now, see, that's what I actually noticed, Griffin, that my net nanny was a little too lenient as well, which is why I hired a real-life nanny to stand over my shoulder while I looked at stuff, specifically Man vs. Bee. I got a Mary Poppins-esque, like, no, Mr. Bean's dick today, Master Travis. So I was watching it too much, apparently, and it was affecting my relationship with my kids.
Yeah.
So she said, you must go outside and get some vitamin D. And I said, I ain't getting all the vitamin D I need right here. And she said, no, Master Travis, you must step outside.
I just want them to release the Snyder cut of Man vs. Bee. And by that, I mean Greg Snyder, who was the on-set intimacy consultant
for being the man in the bee.
Anytime that there was exposure happening, like the scene where the bee climbs inside of his Mr. Bean's penis. I want to see. He worked hard on that. Like he had to coach both of them through that, and it was probably pretty painful and humiliating.
And it's wild to me that they made such a progressive step to hire an intimacy coordinator, which everyone should do. But then also the rest of it exists, and so that was difficult to me.
I watched the Snyder cut of Justice League, and my big thing there
was
was
fucking funny.
Brace your asses, everyone.
There is just so many scenes of people eating chips that it got to a point where
I get it, because Snyder's is a chip brand, which I think might only manufacture chips in Huntington, West Virginia.
A regional thing. They use peanut oil. Nice.
Take that.
Enough said. Enough said there. Appreciate that. This is an advice show,
obviously,
where we take your questions and turn them alchemy-like into wisdom. I feel like it's been 150 years since we've recorded one of these.
Well, and we should also note that Griffin decided to move.
Like
a real dingus. So
like yesterday, just real hair up my ass sort of stuff where I was like, I'm going to uproot my entire family and relocate to the to the Beast
Well,
Coast.
most of your family, you're having them compete to see who
Right.
will be left behind to make a new life in Austin. You don't want to cede all that territory is the
Yeah.
problem.
No.
So you want to leave a man in Kamchatka, as it were.
It is kind of our southern HQ, Griffin, which I am. I feel like I covered the Midwest HQ for a while, and now I feel like you're kind of encroaching a bit on my territory, which I'm not wild about.
I
All right,
do,
well, fight-
I do
fight me.
appreciate that we can finally make it permanent our absolute denial of other time zones.
Yes,
Yes.
thank you.
If you don't know about this little fact of ours, we have people on our team all throughout the country. And if any of them mention any time zones other than Eastern Standard Time, we refuse to acknowledge. Like, we can't process it.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
ask me again in a real time zone. Because if you talk about another one, and we've been doing this with Griffin, like,
Yeah.
Griffin has had to pretend that he does not live outside the Eastern time zone.
Occasionally, Griffin will be like, "Oh, we can start at 11," and I'm like, "It's already 11, Griffin.
It's already 11. What do you
What are
mean?
you talking about?"
Yeah, we're like flat earthers, but for like a very specific sort of latitude range.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying, like, daylight savings time. Who's saving it? And give me some back. You know what I mean? I want some of
And
that.
that's some of Travis's whole deal.
That's my
hey,
thing about time.
Let's do questions. Because
Okay,
it's going to
okay.
be a while before I do questions again, and I
mean,
wanna
we are
scratch
about
the
to do
itch.
like 3 live shows in a row, but that's
Oh, you're
yeah.
right. We're about to be doing too many questions, but still, my hunger must be sated.